Hello, hello, hello. Here is a pop-up training for the thought. I have to keep working until I get to my limit, until 9 or 10 p.m., or things will just keep piling up. This is a thought that will have you overworking in all parts of your life forever, and it doesn't feel good. It's a thought that causes burnout. So, a couple of things to offer yourself when you're feeling there is that there's this underlying idea that it's possible to get all the work done in a hospital setting, it's absolutely not possible. As soon as you get all the cases done, I promise you, the gross room has more cases they're accessioning. Already have piles of stuff. As soon as you get your emails done, 500 emails come in. As soon as you get all your charts closed, more come in. It's not possible for all the work to get done. And I say that to liberate you. This is how it's supposed to be. If you have piles of cases, if they haven't all get done, this is how it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to get everything done all the time. Now, what can be easy is, so I loved that thought. I was like, oh, actually, I'm supposed to have a pile. Um, I love also another thing to think about is when you tell yourself it's all done, what is that feeling? My guess is relief. Your body just thinks the only way to get relief is to break your neck trying to get all the work done, working 100, 120-hour weeks. That's what it thinks will create relief. It's actually not, though. It has you working more, it has you more frustrated. If you want relief, we want to find a way to create relief that makes sense with your body. And for most people, what that means is the relief can come from having a few more hours of sleep, from going on a walk with the husband, from having time for a massage, from not coming in on the weekends. That can create relief too. And the powerful thing with that is by cutting back, you can create relief. You have to have the thinking that supports it. The thinking would be, I don't have to get all my work done. Taking time to recover from a busy work week sets me up to get through more piles of cases next week. That relief gets you closer to the goal you want, which is cutting back. All of this required is having different set of foundational beliefs. Work is not supposed to always get done. I'm supposed to have piles undone. When I rest, my piles go down faster. And that we know there's science behind. We know the science behind that when physicians feel very exhausted, they make more clinical mistakes. The same work takes them so much longer to make. Now they're doing cases while correcting mistakes, while feeling less than, while insecure because they just made mistakes. And it's this vicious cycle that leaves you overworking, solving every problem with more time. And that is not sustainable. So, what we practice in Next Level Freedom, what we practice here is that the key to getting the piles done faster, making fewer mistakes, loving your job, having fun at work is you have to cut back. It has to be a priority. The relief comes from cutting back that has you rested, that has you creating better work with fewer mistakes faster. Of course, if someone is working 15-hour days, that work that's getting done is not quality work. It just can't possibly be. The human brain cannot live at a high cognitive level forever. It will get better when you're recovered, when you're rested. So if you want the best quality work, you have to rest. And that's a fundamental belief that allows you to cut back. We get better work done when we cut back. I think there's also something to look out for is that faster isn't better. I think we all know pathologists who are really fast who make tons of terrible mistakes. There is no race to get to the bottom of the pile. So, a belief that I want to offer you is that to practice high quality medicine that looks after you, your patients, and your center, it takes as long as it takes. Whenever I coach people on the speed of turnaround time, how fast to get to the bottom of the pile, when I question and push them, it's always we come back to actually no one's breathing down my neck. I have created this fundamental belief that good doctors get things done fast. When we dismantle that, you'll be the best doctor possible. The case takes as long as it takes. Can you imagine? You have a sarcoma that no one's ever diagnosed and you sign it out in 30 seconds, but it's a wrong diagnosis. The patient gets the wrong chemotherapy, wrong surgery. Versus, well, we're going to send this case to the NIH. They're going to do molecular studies. They're going to do additional immunostains. It might take 3 weeks for it to get signed out, but when it gets signed out, it's the right diagnosis. Imagine you'll sleep better. You'll feel better. You'll grow your confidence. And all of that will make you faster in your job. So you cut back even more. What I call this is the safety cycle. When you're feeling safe and good about your job and your diagnosis, your work goes by, it takes less time to have quality work. You cut back more, you're home more, you're rested more, you have even better quality diagnosis, better quality care, get home more. The more you're home, the better the doctor you are. The more you're home, the better the doctor you are. So what we have to do is drop you into the safety cycle, and it doesn't take a lot. It takes one belief, it takes one thought. The thought I'd offer you is the work is not supposed to get done. You get better quality work when you cut back. If we were another thing that can be helpful to explore is, so what happens if cases pile up? What happens? What exactly happens? Well, most women will say then they pile up even more and more and more, and things are terrible. But really, I want you to think about that. If you cut, let's say you stop working at 8 o'clock tonight instead of 9, you get an extra hours of sleep. Okay, there's three cases, I don't know, three cases that didn't get signed out. But you go to work, you've had an extra hour of sleep, you're feeling relief ahead of time, you're feeling accomplished, you're feeling very connected to your husband. The reality is, you'll get through those three cases. What would have taken you an hour, you'll get through them in 15 minutes because your mind will be thinking at this highest level. It will save you time to cut back. And if we're going to be obsessed about piles, be obsessed about piles in your favor. Think about it. Over the course of your career, when you started, let's say residency, when you started residency all the way back 15, 20 years, what does that pile of cases that are done look like? Just imagine putting all those slides, all those organs, all those autopsies, like all of that into one. Like, what kind of pile is that compared to the pile that's undone? Think about that. The pile that's undone is a hair. It's the thickness of one of my hairs compared to everything you've done. If you're going to look at piles, look at the pile of accomplishment. You have done so much. This is a grain of sand compared to what you've created. Your track record is you've created piles and piles of amazing work. What's undone is a very small piece of that. And it always will be there, which is a good thing. Listen, if all the piles got done, we might go to AI and pathologists might be out of business. We want there to be a grain of sand in the bucket because we want to come back and have a job on Monday, right? So use the piles for you. Also, you can ask yourself, when has a case never gotten signed out? Like, do you literally have a case that's been sitting in your queue for 20 years? The answer is 100% of your cases get signed out. 100% of your cases get signed out. What if it doesn't matter the turnaround time, given your track record? The most important thing is to get the accurate, high quality diagnosis so the patient is treated well. The speed at which that happens is irrelevant. Now, you might say, but the chair said, but the HR said, but the business manager said, I don't care. If you are operating on, I have to get this done or else, that's when you're going to make mistakes. That's when you're going to burn out. That's when you're going to want to leave medicine. We have to put gently all of those sentences out of our head and practice new sentences. It takes as long as it takes to have good reports. I get better work done when I cut back. I'm not supposed to get all of this done. The pile of work I've done is massive compared to the tiny bit that's here. I'm supposed to have work left over. Take that into your week, see how it goes. I'll see you on the next call. Bye.